Hello, welcome to my presentation for the Trend Awares for the Science Media Museum. This is a very exciting opportunity. I recently signed up for this volunteering thing, but you know, I'll tell you more about that at the end. So, so let's get started. So this is the Trend Awares that we're going to be discussing, and as you can see, okay, so who are the Trend Awares? Obviously you can read it, but context. For Trend Aware, they do something different, which is a maximum for life. They are all about big ideas and are looking for something out of the ordinary. They are also motivated by stimulation and are independently minded, but are also aware of how they're perceived by others. They are happy to stand out from the crowd if it shows them to be ahead of the curve. Early adopters, they don't need things to have proven track record before they get involved. They like to be the one making these discoveries rather than following the crowd. They're not opposed to popular shows or big name blockbusters, but the real mainstream is probably already past. What is my idea? The BBC Click experience. So this will get them the BBC Click. Okay. As you can see, I designed this myself. You know, it did take a long while, you know, like the whole thing. But, so yeah, it took me a while. What is my big idea? So basically, BBC Click is a television programme that has been airing since the way early in the 2000s, and they cover stuff from technology, media, science, and it really fits in with the Science and Media Museum. So this is why I think BBC Click should get involved. And what is it? What is my big idea? I propose that to attract the Trend Aware segment, it would be appropriate to introduce a new experience in an area of the museum. My idea is to get BBC Click involved and introduce the audience to cutting-edge technology that will entertain and educate this target audience. For example, the BBC Click programme researches these new technologies, and this would be a perfect opportunity to connect to BBC's research into new products and share this through a compelling experience that is both educational and exciting experience for the Trend-Aware audiences. Some examples I would like to introduce is contemporary virtual reality equipment, AI technologies, 3D printed technologies, robotic assistance, smart technologies, edge and quantum computing, 5G networks, datafication, cybersecurity, predictive analytics and digital trust, etc., etc. And then I've already mentioned BBC Click, but if you want me to go through it again. BBC Click is the BBC's flagship technology programme. We're on both TV and radio across BBC channels, and can be found on many social networks like iPlayer. The simplest way we've worked out to describe what we do is the best debate on global technology, social media and the internet. All your guides, all the latest gadgets, websites, games, computer and computer industry news, but we just hope that you can join us, if you know what I mean. What does BBC Click show? BBC Click is a programme that mainly covers technology and science programmes and gives us information on what's been happening with technology from the past week, and provides detailed reports into the latest advances in tech and science, and also gives us the news about media, videos and AI. But Click mainly focuses on technology and science because that is their main target audience for their programme. And then BBC main target audience, BBC Click main target audience vary due to the wide variety of subjects that the programme covers, but its main target audience is people who have an interest in technology and science. As Click covers those subjects more, we can have different types of audiences based on what they sometimes show its programme. Why should the museum get BBC Click? This is So the museum is coming close until summer 2024, so it could add 2 new galleries to the museum. And when the museum reopens its doors, the museum needs to promote their new galleries to an audience, and this is where BBC Click comes into play. BBC Click shows a wide variety of programme related to technology and science, which I've already mentioned. And the museum mainly has stuff from media, technology and science, is what BBC Click usually covers on its programme. And that way that BBC Click could promote the museum with its programme is by showing off the brand new additions within the museum when it reopens in the summer of 2024. By getting BBC Click involved, the museum can get onto the Click programme by previewing its 2 new galleries and the new additions to the museum. Click can show off the museums towards its programme reviewing audience and the trendsetter. Just by doing this, the museum will be able to reach and attract a new large audience to the museum when it finally reopens next year with its new galleries and new things. Okay? How can I make this collaboration happen? The way I can get involved and help the museum to get BBC involved to promote the Media Museum is for me to collaborate with the Media Museum, with you guys, by creating a presentation with some of the Media Museum staff to help them pitch ideas to BBC Click. It's by creating a video pitch to send to BBC Click. This will explain how the collaboration will work and why the collaboration will be important to both the Media Museum and BBC Click in an attractive new audience for trendsetters and attract visitors back into the museum when it reopens. In conclusion, through my findings, I feel this is a perfect opportunity to collaborate with the BBC Click programme will be a good fit for the trendsetter segment / target audience. Thank you. Any questions?
Wow! Amazing. Amazing idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Inspired me.
Time for a Q&A then?
So, do you watch this programme?
I actually been watching the BBC Click programme for many years.
Yeah.
And I never really had the idea for it. I was mainly talking about the collection and how they can put and how you can like attract the collection a bit more.
Yeah.
When Paul suggested BBC Click, I completely knew what I had to do. So that's why BBC Click is the best thing for it. And I've been looking at BBC Click's research and programmes, and they do the best fit for the show. But obviously there's other programmes that you could do, like, well, the Gadget Show, however, that's no longer happening, isn't it?
Did you say it's weekly, BBC Click? I'm going to show
Yeah, it's a weekly show,
so
yes.
That's really, there's a lot of opportunity in those.
Yeah.
Up to the minute. And our collections look at the history behind technologies. And
Yeah.
we do bring things up to the present day, but, possibly, certainly not as much as that programme does. So
Yeah.
it feels like, a really great suggestion
Yeah.
from my perspective. I also thought it was interesting that you suggested doing kind of video pitch to them, which I think,
Yeah.
that's
I
a
have
different way
other
of working
suggestions
for
as
us.
well
but
to
it's
make
a
the
great
collection
idea.
more interesting. Video interviews, like, instead of just writing, why not have the video interviews with the people behind the project
Yeah.
of the collection and talk about it, all that kind of stuff. This will get more people interested into your museum and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the new technologies that I think should be added to the museum that BBC Click can promote. Yeah.
The other thing that occurred to me is, because you talked a little bit about maybe it could have it could pop up in some way in the museum when it reopens, and I thought actually we've got a massive new foyer space that's a bit of a kind of blank canvas.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's scope in this to approach them while we're closed, to kind of talk about, to build excitement for the new galleries. But also, if we could make it into a sort of media partnership, as we would call it, it is something that could potentially, have a kind of life in the museum once it reopens.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I loved it. I think what's really great about it is it can be scaled up and down as well. So like it can start off with a feature about the museum on the programme.
Yeah.
It could be an exhibition inside the museum. It could be a feature as part of like our games festival.
Yeah.
Or it could be, you could even scope it way up to be a
You can
festival
use
of its own
BBC
right
Click
around
whenever you
technology.
want. Ideally, when the museum reopens, you could use it for them. We could use it for the Yorkshire Games Festival. We can use them for any of the other events that we promote. Yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Any more questions?
Any from the audience? Any more questions?
No, sure. Yeah, no.
I think it sounds like a good idea.
I think it's a brilliant idea, so I think the way he's thought about it, the way he's structured it into a good, magnificent piece, I think being inspired by some of the points that we've made, especially about the click program, I think it'd be very good.
Yeah.
New gallery, really, very well done, I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, David.